Alright guys, Liam here for Broken Views, and boy have I got a game to give my opinion on today. That game is Prototype for the PlayStation 3. This game was released by AcTiVison, who also developed and created the game, and the premises of this game is an open world plot where you play as the main protagonist, Alex Mercer. Now Alex Mercer is a scientist who basically worked for a big global biohazardous kind of corporation named Gentek. Now Gentek are the baddies in the game, along with Blacklight, who are evil kind of ultra black op kind of military men, and you also fight the military who have cordoned off New York City where the game is placed. And basically the reason they have placed New York under quarantine is the fact that a virus has been released and everyone is going a bit psycho and trying to eat people and beat people up and kill people and infect people. There's also in the game monsters. You can fight like big kind of demon-y things called hunters, or later on in the game super hunters. You also fight super soldiers, who are Blacklight special ops, who have a bit more tough and kind of being genetically enhanced to have better speed, better reflexes, better strength, and those bastards get quite annoying for everyone in the game. So the main plot of the game is that you play as Alex Mercer, who is basically a scientist who's woken up in a morgue, has an epiphany that he's got all these powers, escapes from the morgue, and then his quest to find out who he is, because he has woken up with amnesia, begins. And that leads you to his sister, and then you go to his flat, or apartment for Americans, and there you find out that there's a woman named Elizabeth Green who's been captured. You go, you release Elizabeth Green, which makes this virus in the city 10 times worse, because she's some super boss, but I'm not going to go into that just in case spoilers for the game. And that's basically what the plot revolves around. You trying to find Elizabeth Green and figure out who you are and kind of get your vendetta almost. And now that brings me on to gameplay. Gameplay in the game, I have to say, is good. Not perfect, it does have its problems. I mean, for example, it's very linear, and the kind of linear kind of gameplay is that you don't really have to do a lot at all. He just does everything for you when you run, basically, and that's by pressing R2. He jumps over everything and climbs at walls and does all that on his own. It's nothing really too difficult to do, which can make the game at times a bit boring, and you know, you do get bored of the gameplay rather quickly. I'm not saying when you start playing the game though, it is awfully fun to just go around, consume people, eat people, destroy people, tear people to shreds basically, and just cause havoc, because it's, you know, it's fun. And there's other things you can do, like you can also hijack vehicles on it, which is pretty fun. Like, you know, tanks, should I say. You can't really hijack everyday cars, which is a bit of a downer, because it would have been quite smart to drive around in like a taxi or something and just run people over. But tanks are also fun, and later on in the game you can hijack helicopters, and you know, that's also pretty fun, but can be quite annoying if you also have to fight over helicopters, because your helicopter will go down quite quick. And I've just realised in my camera that light is shining on me quite a lot, and I look very pale. I look a bit like a ghost. Ooh. Yeah. I'd just like to apologise quickly in the middle of this review that I'm only able to use a webcam because at this current moment in time I do not have the funds to buy a camcorder proper. So hopefully within time I will get one, and I'll be able to make better reviews using the camcorder. Anyway, back to the game, what we're actually on hand here watching about. So this game, as I've now spoken about the gameplay, which is, you know, good, quite linear, quite fun to use at first, but does get quite tedious and boring as the game gets on and more hours you put into the game. Graphically though, this game is outstanding. AcTiVison have done a very good job in creating a very realistic environment of New York City, and you know, you'll see all the familiar landmarks like the Empire State Buildings and, you know, Central Park. I don't really know any other major New York City landmarks because I've never been to New York City, but you know, it does look like the New York City you see on films or pictures and stuff. They've done a very, very good job of that, and I would recommend taking a minute to look at the graphical design of the city when you're playing the game, because you've got to admire it. Just point blank admire the graphics. Absolutely fantastic. Obviously there are some parts which are slightly less polished than others, but given the scale of the map, they've done a very good job. And next, I'd just like to say that the game's replayability after you've completed it isn't very high, because I mean, you know, you can maybe play it through again on a higher difficulty if you go on to the lowest difficulty first. I played it on the highest difficulty straight off, so once I completed it and found all the kind of location spots and all the extra little side missions you can do throughout the game, there was no real reason for me to play it back because I knew the story, I'd done everything in it, and it got slightly boring just going around blowing stuff up, as funny as that sounds. I mean, what's better than going around killing people and blowing stuff up and causing carnage? Not a lot really, but this game, it does seem to get a bit boring. Now, that brings me on to my final conclusion of the game. I would recommend going out, buying this game now if you've never played it, because it is worth going towards your game collection, because at the end of the day it's an excellent game. And you know, you can pick this game up for about £10 now, or $18 to $20 in US currency, and I would recommend buying it because AcTiVison have done a very good job, and you will enjoy playing this game, and it's worth a playthrough at least once. And that's basically it. And if I was going to rate the game at any point, I would rate it 8.5 out of 10, and I give 8.5 out of 10 because it's a good game, very graphically designed, very good graphics should I say, and it's very fun. But the downsides to it are that gameplay can get slightly linear and a bit tedious, and it can get boring more hours you put into it, and it, you know, it hasn't really got too much replayability factor. But definitely go out, buy this game, because it is awesome at the end of the day, and anybody who has this in their gaming collection, this is a valuable asset to your gaming collection. Right, thank you very much for watching. I am Liam for Broken Views. If you like this video, please like it down below. That's the little thumbs up button. And please add a comment on how you think I can improve my videos, and how you reckon I can improve how I come across and review the videos. Remember, I'm doing all this for your benefit. And please add this also to your favourites, and also subscribe to my channel up above, because it really does help me out. And you know, I'm just started and I'm up and coming, and I really could use the support. Thank you very much. Remember, I'm doing this all for you. Peace out. Thank you. Goodbye.